the magic thing was a sense of empowerment, this idea of being able to do things that other people couldn't do or that appeared to be impressive. It was a feeling of power. That's what I was looking for, because I felt so completely not empowered. In fact, I felt enfeebled in many ways.
You think you had a rough childhood?
No, I don't, actually. I think I had a lovely childhood. My parents adored me. I had a very small circle of friends that I didn't realize at the time were friends, because they would sometimes participate in the taunting as well. But I had some friends. I did fine in school. And then we moved from one town in New Jersey to another town when I was 12 years old. And from that point on, that's when I got picked up by the theater kids. I had never performed. And the first kids that came around and said, "Hey, new kid, do you sing?" I went, "Oh, yeah."
Well,
sure.
I read that you were pursuing magic. You went to an actual
I went to Tannen's Magic Camp.
Tannen's Magic Camp. What is that magic camp?
It's, camp is a euphemism. Tannen's is still, although it's diminished somewhat, they were the #1 magic store in our country, and they were on Broadway at 48th Street in one of the great buildings.
So it's a chain of magic stores.
It wasn't a chain. It was a world famous single owner magic store that professionals would come to, amateurs.
It still
would come
exists?
to. It does. It's moved and it's much smaller. But they used to run a summer program, which they called the camp, and they would have in any 2-week session 20 to 30 kids, and they'd have magicians come in, and if you wanted to be a close-up magician, they had a close-up guy. If you wanted to do things like the box illusions or they would mentor you. And
really?
I went to, and I wanted to be.
I can't imagine sending a kid to camp to get sawed in half.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought you were going to be doing for a living?
Yeah. But
How old were you?
I wanted to be 12. But I wanted to be, I started that when I was 6. I was serious. I would be in my little room with my books and my kits and my little props that I got at, Tannen's Magic Store, working on things. But I wanted to be a close-up magician. I wanted the magic to be in my hands. Because even as a kid, I went, if there's a box, the trick is the box. It's not the guy, it's the box.
Okay.
So I wanted to be the guy. And what happened at Tannen's, honestly, is I started to work with the guy on some basic card manipulation. And my hands, to this day, are so small that a standard playing card, if I go to palm it, some corner will stick out somewhere. I do not have a big enough hand to effectively and easily palm a standard.
Even now as an adult?
Or manipulate, yeah. So, and if you take cards out of the equation as a close-up magician, you've diminished your repertoire quite a bit.
Though I know that you've gone to the Magic
I am an
Castle.
award-winning magician at the Magic Castle, but I did not do a close-up act. I did the act I did was based on mentalism tricks, and I presented them in a very different way. And I actually got the award more for the uniqueness of how I presented these things.
Can you do a mental trick for us now? I know you
could. I?
Yeah, show me a. If it's mentalism,
the keyword is trick. It's a trick. Did I bring the props?
No, I didn't. There's just props for it.
No, almost every mentalist. I know a couple that do some things. That
don't ruin it for me.
But almost, magic is magic. It's a trick. If they're not saying, "Hey, I'm psychic," here's how you know if a mentalist is a mentalist.
Some magicians
I'm a judge on a
won't say it's a
show.
trick. They will not say that it's a trick.
I know. Well, that's a problem.
You're going to give away this behind the scenes.
No, but if you're a mentalist, I should be able to go, okay, I'm thinking of a color or I'm thinking of a number. I'll tell you what, I'll make it easy. A number between 1 and 5. And they should have no problem going, oh, I know exactly what it is. That's a legitimate mind reader.